I'm really worried about the next game in the Souls series. This may confuse you, as From Software hasn't really said anything at all about the next game in the series, and it's probably many years away when you consider the fact that they'll be working on Armored Core 6 for the next few years. To tell you the truth, we don't really know if we will even get an 8th game, or 9th depending on how you view the Demon Souls remake, but it's highly likely that From Software will continue to capitalize on their huge success when it comes to making these games. With pretty much every game in the series being hailed as a 9 out of 10 or better, with the exception of Dark Souls 2, which most views an 8 out of 10. With all games in the series besides the third one being seen as amazing, it doesn't seem like there should be any reason to worry about the future of the series. Or, it appears that way on your first glance. When Elden Ring first released about 6 months ago, its large player base had nothing but praise for it. But as time has went on and more people have played the entire game from start to finish, some of these players, like myself, even replaying the game multiple times, some of this game's cracks really started to show. Many game reviewers, alongside the general player base, have come to terms with the fact that Elden Ring isn't really the masterpiece they thought it was, that the game actually had a large amount of problems ranging from slight inconveniences to game-breaking mechanics. If some of you aren't aware of this, I've compiled a short list of Elden Ring's biggest public problems in no particular order, so here it is. Extreme camera issues. Bad performance on PC, especially at launch. Poorly designed co-op mechanics like in most Dark Souls games. A useless and pointless crafting mechanic that doesn't add anything to the experience. Armor basically doing nothing and being a useless mechanic. Extreme amounts of reuse content, like in no other Souls game. Extremely bad level balancing, though this might be an impossible issue, and I'll touch on this a little bit more later. The various poorly designed cheese mechanics such as the Ice Hatchet, Comet Azure, Rivers of Blood, and basically every katana. We know this wasn't intentional because they patched many of those issues. Loot that isn't rewarding such bad weapon design. Why should I care about getting a legendary strength greatsword when I have a dex build and I know that Uji Katana that some players will start with at the beginning is actually one of the best weapons in the game and can pretty much just steamroll the game anyways. There are many more issues like these ones, but this video isn't an Elden Ring critique as shown in the title. I'm not going to try to prove all of these issues to be objective flaws in the game, and if you want to watch a video where someone does, click on the many Elden Ring critique links that I've left in the description. The last 4 issues that I mentioned are by far the biggest and most important ones that may hamper your experience with Elden Ring. Elden Ring defenders may tell you that in order to make a 150-hour Souls experience, these sacrifices needed to be made. This never really made sense to me because you're basically saying that you prefer quantity over quality. And as someone who values my time, especially while gaming, I do not agree with this. I would much rather have a tight-knit, incredible 30-hour experience that was handmade, doesn't have any auto-generated terrain, has amazing level boss design, loot design, weapon design, and has little to no reused content. I would like to give these game reviewers credit though. With the first 10 hours of Elden Ring seeming so open and well-designed, I can't blame them for initially making 10 out of 10 reviews for the game, especially when everybody else was doing it at the time. I went on a huge tangent just there, where I pretty much just started bashing Elden Ring. And I would like to emphasize the fact that while some of these are objective flaws within the game, how much they hamper the experience for me and you may vary. And if Elden Ring is still the best game you've ever played, even after watching all the critique videos I've laid out in the description, I want you to know that that's perfectly fine. After all this, however, you may be asking, well, Morbius fan 46, how does this affect the next Souls game? Well, smart and funny viewer, please subscribe. I was just about to tell you. Yeah. Elden Ring nearly outsold the entire Dark Souls trilogy. While many people view From Software as some kind of game development company god, it is true that they are still a company. And despite anything that Miyazaki will tell you, any company's goal is to make as much money as possible. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't think Elden Ring is a bad game, so to speak. I just think that with its 96 out of 100 Metacritic score and its incredible sales numbers, it's sending the wrong message to From Software. The message that bad balancing, unbalanced gameplay in general, bad loot design, and extreme amount of reused content is all permissible as long as the game is large in scope. Many of these problems are just things that will naturally occur when creating a massive open-world game like Elden Ring, but I'm worried that From Software will continue to make games that value quantity over quality, and that we'll never get a true handmade masterpiece of a game like Dark Souls or Sekiro or even Bloodborne were. If you're still here after all that, then thank you. This is a new YouTube channel. I probably have around 1 or 2 subscribers when you'll be seeing this. So if you like this video, then maybe subscribe for some more Dark Souls content and gaming content in general.